Groundhog's Dilemma. The author is Kristen Remenar. She wrote the words. And the illustrator is Matt Faulkner. He drew the pictures. A dilemma is when you have a difficult problem. And in our story, Groundhog is definitely going to have a difficult problem to solve. Here we go. I see my shadow, Groundhog declared. Half the animals cheered, the other half groaned. 6 more weeks of winter. Back to sleep. Yay! Stuck in the nest for 6 more weeks. I'll go nuts. An early spring would have been nice. Groundhog's shoulders slumped. I just call it like I see it, he mumbled, heading back into his den for a good long nap. Spring finally arrived and everyone came out to look for food. I could have had fresh berries 6 weeks ago if someone hadn't seen his shadow. I liked wearing my white fur a bit longer this year. Thanks, Groundhoggy. I only reported what I saw. Still, I appreciate it. Have some berries. This exchange did not go unnoticed. The next morning, Squirrel stopped by for a visit. Groundhog, my pal, want to sit with me at the ball game today? I'll share my peanuts, he said. Really? Gee, thanks, replied Groundhog. Anything for a friend. Maybe next February you could return the favor by making spring come early, Squirrel suggested. Well, I don't actually control the weather. I just report it. Think it over. That afternoon, Bear clapped a paw on Groundhog's shoulder. How would you like to play catch after the game? Bear offered. I don't know. Usually you get mad because I keep dropping the ball, Groundhog said. Well, today I'm in a good mood, and if I get 6 extra weeks of sleep next year, I'll be in a good enough mood to teach you how to throw, Bear replied. Really? All I do is... Just before the game began, Sparrow called out encouragingly to Groundhog. I'm sure we can find a position for the guy who can make spring come early. Groundhog opened his mouth to protest, but he looked longingly at the team warming up. Want to play? Me? An early spring sounds good to me, Sparrow. That evening, Hare stopped by. Groundhoggy, you do like seeing me in my pretty white coat, don't you? Mm-hmm. Don't you want a longer winter next year so I can wear it for 6 extra weeks? Oh, yes. So you'll see your shadow on February 2nd. Uh-huh. Over the next several months, Groundhog's social calendar was full of ball games, picnics, and bonfires. On the first frost-covered morning in late fall, a crowd gathered at Groundhog's door. I like my winter sleep. Don't forget early spring. An early spring means more time for baseball,
I love my winter white, Groundhoggy. As he settled in for the winter, Groundhog felt restless. One snowy night he left his den looking for help. "I'll," said Groundhog. "I need some advice. Squirrel and Sparrow want an early spring, but Hare and Bear want a longer winter. I've said yes to everyone because I want them to like me. I don't control the weather. I just predict it."
Ha! To see or not to see your shadow? That is the question, said Owl. You've got yourself into this, Groundhog. You'll have to get yourself out. But I'd really appreciate it if you could make spring come early. Winter is tough on my old bones.
Groundhog slunk back to his den. He spent several restless weeks mulling over his options before sinking into an uneasy sleep. February 2nd dawned chilly and bleak. Groundhog looked up at the partly cloudy sky. He looked around at the expectant faces. He looked down at the ground, unsure of what he saw.
Do you see your shadow or not?
"Groundhoggy." Then the sun broke free of the clouds and shone brightly. Groundhog knew that no matter what he said, spring would come when it wanted to. And either way, someone would be angry. All he could do was tell the truth. So Groundhog took a deep breath and puffed up his chest. "I see my shadow," he announced.
6 more weeks of winter.
Half the animals cheered, the other half groaned.
Hey, I thought we were friends. Oh, drat. Yes.
"Yay! We are friends. You're all my friends, so I—" Groundhog sighed. "I promised you what you wanted, so you would stay friends with me." Groundhog hung his head. "I'm sorry, everyone. I shouldn't have pretended that I could control the weather. I just call it like I see it. That's all." "It's not because of your job that we're your friends."
Well, not only because of it.
Groundhog looked up at them, grumpy and hungry from months of cold. "I know it doesn't make what I did right, but maybe you'd like to join me for hot chocolate and snacks?" he asked. "6 weeks will go by faster with a full stomach." With some grumbling and squeezing, everyone joined Groundhog. They ate, talked, and laughed until they were stuffed and sleepy again.
Back to the den.
"A sparrow," Groundhog said. "I know you're angry, but I'd still like to play baseball with you in the spring." Sparrow smiled.
I could use a good umpire.
Groundhog grinned. "I'll call it like I see it." 6 weeks later.
Play ball.
The end! Wasn't that a great story, boys and girls? In the end, Groundhog couldn't change the weather, he just reported it. Happy Groundhog Day to you this year.
Thanks for watching. If you love this book and want a copy of your very own, you can get one at the link below. If you had fun reading along with me, please like this video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out all the other videos where I read books aloud just for you. I hope I'll see you guys soon and you'll come back and read with me again next time. Bye!